horsepower meets goal power.
TalkSport Drive.
100% nationwide coverage.
Weekday afternoons from 4 on TalkSport. The fastest football on the way home. TalkSport Drive.
Hey, it's Brian Dunseth, former Olympian and current Sirius XM FC host. Do you need more than your average recap of the weekend in soccer?
Sorry, America, but it is the biggest sport in the world.
Well, look no further than Weekend to Tackle. This podcast is all about stories we want you to know, from the most important on-the-field moments to the lighter side of the beautiful game.
You were jumping up and down like a lunatic. That's 7 beers before the game for you.
It's all on Weekend to Tackle, available every Monday, wherever you stream your podcast or listen on the SXM app, included with most subscriptions.
Welcome back, where Goodison Park is currently silent as wreaths are being laid on the pitch by dignitaries and already by David Moyes and Frank Lampard in memory of Her Majesty the Queen, who died last week. And we will allow you now to hear the atmosphere from the ground as we remember Queen Elizabeth II and have a rendition of the national anthem too.
She was an inspiration to all and leaves behind an incredible legacy. Following a life of dedication, we recognise her immense contribution to the nation and around the world during her remarkable service. Please now join us to observe a minute's silence in memory of Her Majesty the Queen. This will be followed by the national anthem, God Save the King.
I wish I could say it was impeccably observed. There is a history of anti-establishment feeling on Merseyside. We'll allow you to make your own judgments as to how you saw that particular moment of memory at Goodison Park. But the national anthem, God Save the King, sung with gusto, and the two sets of players and management heavily involved too. But we move to the football, where Everton fans certainly do support their team, and they've got a big task on their hands today. West Ham will be disappointed with their own start to the season, but at least they've won this season, albeit they start on goal difference below their hosts this afternoon here on Premier League Live. It is West Ham who are the visitors to Everton this afternoon. Let's remind you of the team news, because Everton make two changes from a draw against Liverpool 15 days ago. Jordan Pickford is injured, picking up a thigh problem in that game. Tom Davies also drops out. Asmir Begovic then starts in goal for them. Idrissa Gueye also comes in, his second home debut for Everton, full debut that is. So they have Begovic in goal. The back four: Nathan Patterson, Conor Cody the captain, James Tarkowski, Vitaly Mykolenko, Idrissa Gueye and Amadou Onana the midfielders, with Alex Iwobi just ahead, Damari Gray and Anthony Gordon supporting Neil Maupay up top. West Ham, easy to tell you about their last Premier League game. They have played twice in Europe since they lost to Chelsea, but lots of changes from that one. So one change from the team that lost to Chelsea 15 days ago. Emerson out, Cresswell in. They have Łukasz Fabianski in goal, Vladimir Sofal, Thilo Kehrer, Kurt Zouma and Aaron Cresswell. Thomas Souček and Declan Rice the captain. Jarrod Bowen, Lucas Paqueta and Pablo Fornals supporting Michail Antonio up top. It is West Ham who will get us underway in the sunshine on Merseyside, shooting from left to right in their claret and blue jerseys, white shorts and claret socks, and immediately a long ball forward is headed into the Everton box, cleared away by Connor Cody and Dave Kitson. This one, I just wonder whether it's going to be a bit blood and thunder rather than sort of feeling themselves out. The first goal feels huge today.
I think it's critical. I was about to say the same thing, actually. I think it's absolutely critical. I think West Ham have the firepower on the pitch as well. I'm particularly looking forward to seeing Paqueta. The more he plays, the more I like him. Big money spent on him. You know what you're going to get from Antonio and Bowen to that extent. There's firepower on this pitch for West Ham. I agree. I think the first goal is massive.
And away in green on our right-hand side, Asmir Begovic. He's only played 3 times in the Premier League for Everton, but vastly experienced campaigner, of course. Formerly of one of your old clubs, isn't he? Stoke City. He knows his way around the game, and I don't think this will faze him.
No, I've just had to Google his age, actually, because I played with him 12 years ago at Stoke, and he's 35, and it's just made me feel very, very old.
Talented keeper.
Very. In training, unbelievable. Just couldn't beat him. Well, I couldn't, but that's not saying
Paqueta has won the ball high up there. Patterson, though, with a really vital challenge. And frankly, Paqueta's work was great initially, but the pass to Fornals was short, and he prevented Everton being in a lot of trouble with that poor pass, did Paqueta, allowing Patterson back, and then a challenge by Fornals as he tried to win it back high up, has given away the free kick, and Everton will have a chance to clear.
Yeah, it's a high press from West Ham. They are the team that's going for it, and I think there's a lot of pressure on Everton.
Flick header on, looking for Mopé. He's not going to be able to get goal side there of Kurt Zouma, and rushing out comes Łukasz Fabianski, the Pole, who claims all in yellow away to our left. Black armbands adorning the arms of every player out on the field. And West Ham now will have a little bit of sustained possession, 2 minutes in at the back, with Zouma moving it out to the right hand side. And it was Sofal who just waited a little bit too long there, allowed Anthony Gordon to come in, and he's actually just hobbled away from the challenge, having given away the throw in. Sofal will take it. Good challenge there by Tarkowski, and it falls for Cody. Boyhood Liverpool fan, Cody, but he's wearing the blue of Everton, was desperate for the move, absolutely desperate for it. And here's Iwobi. Good running forward by Patterson, but the pass is awful. And here come West Ham now with Fornals. He's got one to his left and one to his right, tried to find the difficult pass to Paqueta, hits a blue shirt, and then Cody manages to prevent the corner as well, smacks it away to the far side, and that's a throw. Or has it actually gone for the corner? It has. Cody is furious at that decision, but West Ham will have the corner kick.
They're architects of their own downfall there, Everton. Sloppy pass, and that's what West Ham will be looking to do, pick up on those sloppy passes and break, because they've got the pace up front.
Corner from the far side, whipped in towards the near post, doesn't beat the first man, Damari Gray, and he actually gets to his own headed clearance and volleys up towards halfway. Deepest man is Sofal, nobody challenging him, he uses his goalkeeper, safety first, and Everton will have a chance to reset defensively, and Fabianski will look for the runner over on the far side, and that's a good header by Fornals against Patterson, who then fights him for it as well with the shoulder barge, and it's just forced Fornals to slide the ball away right down by the corner flag. And Patterson, who's starting for the 7th Premier League game in a row, he started every single one, having failed to get in the team at all last season after arriving in January for pretty big money, more than £16 million, the Scot. But he's really becoming a favourite for Everton at the moment, as a handball goes against West Ham. And Paqueta gives away the free kick, and West Ham will drop themselves back into their defensive shape. And a free kick for Everton outside their area, pretty central position. And I think David Moyes will be pretty happy so far, Dave Kitts.
He will. It is all West Ham at the moment. I'll tell you what he won't be pleased with, though, as we know David Moyes, big on set pieces, works really hard on them on the training ground. That first corner that went in was absolutely atrocious.
You want to test a keeper that hasn't played much,
exactly,
right?
yeah, and it would hit the first man. It was terrible.
Another poor pass out, this time from the near side by Tarkowski. Couldn't find Mykolenko, but he's lucky that it came off of the claret and blue shirt into touch on the near side. And there's Iwobi, beautiful feet by Iwobi, gets away from Sofal and works the ball forward to Mopé, who spreads it out to the right hand side now. Gray takes a touch, just slows himself down a little bit, turns it back to Idrissa Gueye, and they'll work it safely back to Cody once more through Onana, and here's Tarkowski. Mykolenko, option down the line, blocked by Sofal. Iwobi was featured heavily in the build-up by Everton to this particular game. They had a half-hour YouTube video in his home where he was being thoroughly battered at pool by his own interviewer, which he was really, really annoyed about. But he was talking with great joy about being a part of this club, and how he says not only does he feel he's playing the best he's played sort of consistently throughout his career, but also that his confidence is higher than it's ever been throughout his career. So Frank Lampard, I mean, you've got to say, whatever we say about Lampard, he has turned Iwobi's career around. What a player he's been in central midfield for Everton so far. So they come and attack down the right. We'll get Dave Kitson's thoughts on it in a moment, but Patterson's early delivery, that's easy for Fabianski. Alex Iwobi.
Yeah, he's an interesting player, isn't he? I'm sure at Arsenal he would have frustrated the life out of them, but because he has these games. He's 26 years old now, so he's not a kid anymore. But he has these games where you just think, well, this guy's a world beater. The things he does with the ball, the pace, the control, getting out of tight situations, and then he'll have 2 or 3 games where you don't see him. And he doesn't feature. I'm sure what he would like, and I'm sure what Everton would like, is more goals to his game. I think he's found a position now. I think he's got used to it, but I think he needs a few goals.
That's probably fair. But he's definitely doing a good job there, winning the possession and giving it to Mopé. And here's Iwobi, and he just couldn't take it around Fabianski. Ran out of ground, goal kick. Case in point, Dave Kitson.
Right on cue. It's just not natural to him, is it? Because they win the ball high up. Mopé plays a little slide rule pass in behind. Iwobi gets to it first, but it just doesn't seem natural to him. He should be hitting this first time left-footed, and he doesn't. He wants to go round the keeper, and he runs out a road, takes the ball off the pitch. That's where he needs to be better.
Yeah, I mean, if there's anyone you want managing you to teach you it, though, not a bad guy, is it? In Mr. Lampard.
Exactly. If there's one player that just never messed around in front of the goal, it's Frank Lampard.
He'd have hit that, wouldn't he? Here's Bowen at the other end, though, and he might have got goal side here of Mykolenko. He has rolled across, and somehow Conor Cody diverts it behind. I thought for a moment it might end up in his own net, but he stopped Mikel Antonio having a tap in. Corner to West Ham, could have been much, much worse for Everton.
Well, it's brilliant from Cody. They get themselves into a right mess. Mykolenko down here gets rolled, and Bowen, exactly the right thing, across the face of goal. It's awful for defenders when you're facing your own goal and the ball's coming that fast at you. You need a bit of luck to steer it the right side of the post, and Cody gets it. Great defending.
Playing in the back four, we haven't seen much of that. Here's the corner in. It's punched by Begovic from right on his own goal line under a lot of pressure. That's a significantly better set piece from West Ham. Everton had dealt with it initially, although it's coming back at them. Patterson's clearance hits Antonio. Fornals can't prevent the throw, though, as it ran away to the far side. And apologies, it's Cresswell, and now he's down on his haunches. Don't know if he's done something muscular there. Everton looking to attack, and here's Iwobi taking a throw. Yeah, Cresswell doesn't look comfortable, although he is jogging back a little freer now, but he's out of position as Everton come forward through the centre of midfield, and they work it left for Mykolenko. Now Gray gets it back from Onana. Gay again to the left for Mykolenko. One more if he wishes. A little bit advanced to him was Mopé. Instead he comes infield. Here's Onana again. That's a better ball to Gray. Up on the left edge of the 18-yard box. Tries to cross. Flashes across the 6-yard line. And nobody was there to divert it home. It's gone all the way across for a throw-in over on their left-hand defensive side for West Ham.
That's good football, and this is what you want from Gray in these areas. Don't mess around, get it across, get men in the box, and Everton do have men in the box.
I think it's Gordon that's closest, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just at a really awkward height.
Yes.
It's too high to volley and not high enough to head.
Yeah, knee height. And he tried to get his foot onto it. I think he's got possession here. He has. He's worked his way into the box. Tries to get it back to Iwobi. Wouldn't sit cleanly for him. He'll take it and move it right. Crossing opportunity for Patterson. Blocked behind by Cresswell. Corner to Everton. This is turning into a really bright game here on Premier League Live. It remains Everton 0, West Ham 0. First corner of the match now for the home side, having defended a couple already away at the other end.
It's great football from Iwobi on the edge of the box again, and that's where he is dangerous. His footwork is tremendous at times.
Gordon to take, over on the far side, out-swinging delivery. Here's the ball in, headed away by Sofal. Fornals tries to chase, held up by Patterson. It's out to the far side and back to Gray. And he's brought down there, is he? Yes, says the referee. Free kick to Everton. Paqueta with the challenge.
That's interesting.
He's saying that should be first one, don't give me a booking. And I think he has got away with that one. Let's see it again. Yeah, he's taken him out.
He definitely gets it. It was interesting because the linesman didn't give it. The assistant referee rather didn't give it. It was the referee that gave it. And he had me tricked for a minute. I didn't think he touched him, but he clearly did. This is a free kick in a great position for Everton. At
TalkSport Live if you want to get in touch on Twitter. Free kick from the right hand side level with the 6-yard box to be taken by Andre Gray, maybe by Damari Gray I should say. 7 yards out maybe from the byline. Here's the delivery. In it goes to Onana, who's headed it over the crossbar. And that's half a chance, couldn't quite get up enough. Might have been going wide as well off his head. This angle I get now will tell me otherwise perhaps. Certainly skimmed a little bit more than he'd have hoped and went away. And West Ham now make a mess of the clearance. And Everton have a throw over on the far side. Here's Gay, brought down by Paqueta again. Surely that one is a booking. That's his third already of this game. And he's going to be very, very fortunate to avoid one. And I think that Michael Oliver, the referee, is saying last chance, maybe just because you're new to the Premier League, we'll give you one more go. That's a yellow card, isn't it?
No, it's certainly a foul, but I think just the accumulation of fouls from Paqueta so far should probably warrant. It's funny, isn't it? Because that was in the second half, deep into the game. It's a yellow card.
Yeah. 12 minutes gone. He's given away 3 already. Another free kick from a bit deeper this time for Everton. That's poor from Damari Gray, and that will run away to the near side. It'll have to be dealt with by Declan Rice. He's done well to shepherd it away for the throw. Onana trying to come through his back.
He had a little kick out as well at Declan Rice. He's not happy about it.
20 years of age, the Belgian. I think he's the one that the Everton fans are most pleased by, the big money signing. Onana this summer, £31.5 million. Looks like an impressive player, but at the other end, Bowen has spread it out to the far side for Pablo Fornals. Fornals can't get the better of Patterson so far, but he's just taken it off him again, and I think he's won his team a throw high up, has he? There is a West Ham player down. I think that's Bowen, is it?
I think as he played the ball through to Fornals, he got caught late, just as he played it.
Is that from Gay? You're absolutely spot on. That's why we've got Dave Kitson here, and he actually stood on his ankle. I don't think it was intentional, was it? They were just fighting for the ball, and in the process of chasing after it, he's landed studs on ankle as Bowen slipped, and he's receiving some treatment for the time being.
Yeah, it's an accident, but it's no less painful.
No, of course not. Absolutely not. Well, he's been a real hit, Jared Bowen, and certainly last season was in magnificent form, got that call up to England duty, but he's without a goal in 7 Premier League games. That's his worst run in just about a year now. He went up to September of 2021 without one in 13 games, so not anywhere near that sort of levels yet, but he will be thinking about it. I think, when a player's had such a good season, we saw it with Son, didn't we, yesterday for Spurs, you sort of want to hit the ground running again the next year, and it's not quite happened for Jared Bowen yet.
I think he is one of the players that's suffering from this indifferent start by West Ham, actually.
Yeah. They've taken their throw. It's back to Cresswell. There's Mikel Antonio trying to give it back to Cresswell again. The two number 3s fighting for it. And Patterson showing experience beyond his years there to just shuffle that one behind. Body between man and ball. Good strength. And the Scot wins out against a Merseyside-born man. Aaron Cresswell, born in Birkenhead. Another Liverpool fan as a boy, along with Conor Cody, not playing for those Reds, but past the 300 mark for West Ham in terms of appearances against Silkeborg. And this is number 301 now, and still going. And it's been a good, solid career for the former England left-back. Quarter of an hour gone, Everton 0, West Ham 0. Frank Lampard has taken off his black tie, but still dressed in all black suit with the white shirt. And his side have been mainly in the defensive so far, but certainly giving as good as they've got in the midfield battle. Gay has it at the moment, and he'll add some steel, Gay, you think, to this team, and hopefully allow Onana to play a little bit more, where up to now he's kind of been that sort of defensive fulcrum for them since arriving from Lille. Header by Rice, drops to Fornals, midpoint of the Everton half. Can't shuffle the ball forward to Paqueta. And Everton come away down the right hand side with Damari Gray. Moves infield, still now into the centre of the field, in the centre circle. To the left for Mikolenko. Gordon outside of him if he wishes. Instead back to Gray. Damari Gray spreads it out to the right side looking for Patterson, but it was a little bit too straight, a little bit too much pace. Bounces once off the turf and straight out of play for a throw-in on the left-hand side for West Ham.
Yeah, and it's, to be honest, he had Gordon making a great run in behind as well that he could have played. I just think they need to just be a little bit braver. There comes a point, you can keep the ball as long as you like, but there comes a point where someone has to be brave and play a forward pass.
Gordon's always the one, isn't he? I mean, already he's their top scorer this season. A couple of goals, in fact scored their last 2 goals in the league. And well, it might turn into a really good bit of business, ensuring he didn't join Chelsea as he comes across third. Trips Sofal. Sofal gets to his feet quickly enough though, and I wondered when they gave that ball away whether the ref might bring it back, but no such luck. Everton have it. Nice feet by Onana, away from Fornals. 3 claret and blue shirts away from him. Dave Kitson's furious because he passed sideways instead of forwards with Mopé making a run.
Yeah. I think if you've got Mopé making Mopé was basically one-on-one with a defender. You have to give him a chance, play the ball and give him a chance.
Cody has it, just inside the Londoners' territory. Onana. Iwobi. Mikolenko available to his left. Uses the Ukrainian now. Mikolenko, early ball in. That was a good ball just ahead of Mopé. Headed away there by Thilo Kehrer. And then awful, frankly, from Souček. From Bowen, I should say. Soufal doing well to prevent the corner, but throw in taken quickly. Here's Iwobi. Back from Mopé. Oh, poor from Iwobi. Sold Mikolenko really short. Bowen able to intercept, and left-footed he'll clear up towards halfway for Mikel Antonio. Good control, takes it away from Tarkowski, and then uses his body strength as well to get away from him, and then tries to find Paqueta, and again the last man reading the game beautifully was Conor Cody. The pass didn't quite have the weight that Antonio would have liked on it though, and Everton survive what might have been a real scare.
Oh, it's brilliant forward play from Antonio. Everything about it was great. Took the ball out of the air, ran away from his man. Just didn't, as you say, have the weight on the pass. But you've got to admire him for playing it. You know, that's the bravery that you need if you're going to go and score goals.
That's the point you're making about Everton, that they haven't tried that sort of thing.
Yeah, and if you don't do that, you're not giving your forwards anything to work with, and you're not asking questions of the opposition's defence.
West Ham spread the play to the right-hand side, kept in by Sofal. Iwobi tracks and chases and harries, but he's given it to Bowen. Bowen, little ball, a little bit behind Souček. Bowen gets it back off of Paqueta. Now into the centre circle for Declan Rice. To the left for Fornals. And Everton are back in their shape with 11 players behind the ball, all deep inside their own half. So West Ham come cross-field to Sofal. Forced back by Mikolenko, but he's still in possession, the Czech. Into Rice. Rice to Paqueta. Gives it back to the England international. Nice touch from Fornals. Emerges with it somehow from a challenge against Damari Gray. Onana seems to be suggesting that Paqueta has caught him in the face, but West Ham continue towards Bowen, and the diving header away there by James Tarkowski ensured that Bowen didn't have a simple finish. Yet more desperate but quality defending by Everton.
A brilliant header from Tarkowski, because Bowen's right there. He'd made a fantastic run into the ball that got whipped in. Was brilliant. Forward's dream. Excellent defending.
I've not written down lots of chances, but it's been great defending at the last moment that's prevented them. And again, West Ham will win themselves a corner, this time off of Patterson, who looks like he's limping away slightly. Cresswell's cross blocked behind. Corner West Ham, third of the game, nearly 20 minutes gone, still scoreless.
This needs to be a good ball. It's going to be an outswinger this time. Keep it away from Begovic.
Zuma forward. Bowen is always a lurker around the edge of the box. Souček always a threat. Here's the delivery again towards the near post. I think it was Onana that got the final header on that, and behind it goes. Physical presence, Onana, though, isn't he? He's doesn't look the broadest, quite lanky, but he's putting himself about so far. Another corner, same man, same place. Cresswell, West Ham left, outswinger. Plenty of movement in the box, heads go up. I think it was Zuma that it was aimed for. Might have come off of an Everton player last, it did. And already West Ham are into their fifth corner of the game.
Yeah, it's interesting playing the outswinger to the near post. If you're playing an outswinging corner, it's probably the hardest place to hit is the near post, and much more difficult to try and finish off it.
Cresswell won't be taking this one. It's an in-swinging delivery. Begovic punches. Going to drop to the edge of the box. Shot towards goal by the right foot of Cresswell. And it's blocked behind for yet another corner.
I was just thinking, whoever's had 7+ corners as a bet,
yes,
you've just got 4 in 30 seconds.
I did. Another outswinger. Will he try the same sort of thing again? Mopé back helping to defend, but he's a diminutive figure against two West Ham players at the moment, two of the bigger ones as well, Kehrer and Souček. Here comes Cresswell's delivery. Rather hit Zuma, and I think Everton will get away here, and that's a nice ball away. And here they come down the right hand side. Cody found Damari Gray. Paqueta's with him. Gray cuts inside Paqueta and Fornals, but then runs into Sofal, who safety first, rose edge, far side. That was a lovely play by Damari Gray. What a bargain. 1.7 million last year from Bayer Leverkusen. He was their second top scorer behind Richarlison, and is looking bright again this afternoon. Yeah,
you wouldn't think you could get a regular starter in the Premier League for 1.5 million, but he's certainly proved us wrong. He's been a great signing, great value for money.
As Kehrer brings down Mopé. And it's a free kick in a dangerous position for Everton from the right-hand side. Gray will be over it. It was a bit of a surprise that Leverkusen let him go. I mean, I don't think he'd quite settled, in fairness to him, after sort of 6 months, but he did all right for them. He started really brightly, scored on his debut. Here's Gray's delivery this time, up into the sky by Paqueta. Gordon fighting for it. It's going to come out to Mikalenko. And the less said about that shot, the better. From 26, 27 yards out, left foot, half volley, smashed over the crossbar. 0-0.
Yeah, we haven't had a goal yet, but it's been a really entertaining game. And the amount of players that are hobbling about, they're putting everything into it.
West Ham's record against Everton over the years isn't great, but they did do the double over them last season. That's the first time they'd ever done that in the Premier League era. In fact, the first time since all the way back in 1972-73 in the old Division 1. And they've actually won 3 of the last 4 in the league and 5 of the last 9, but previous to that it was 1 win in 19. And Everton have more wins, more points and more goals against West Ham than against any other Premier League opponent. So generally good, but Cody's given the ball away to Michail Antonio, and he's bailed out by James Tarkowski, who made the block. And then Iwobi runs into Souček. It's poor from Iwobi. Paqueta dilly-dallies on it. Didn't expect Gordon to be there. He's pickpocketed him. And now can Everton break at pace? Iwobi finds Mopé. Not much support around him. Gordon trying to get up alongside him. Iwobi makes his way into the box. Gray available further over. Instead he picks out Patterson. Patterson bends it towards Mope. Pretty easily dealt with by Zuma, but it'll be picked up again from his clearance by the Toffees. Ghana has it. Idrissa Gana Gueye. Now Tarkowski. High ball over Cresswell, taken down by Gray, but he just miscontrolled it. Runs out of ground. It was a super ball that by Tarkowski. Not something he's generally known of, is putting the ball on a sixpence, but he did it for Gray there, and he'll be disappointed, I think, Damari Gray, that he couldn't bring that one under his spell.
Yeah, as I said, it's a really entertaining game. It just bursts into life at random moments at both ends of the pitch.
It's often about sort of defensive lapses so far, isn't it? Clearances being intercepted, or high pressing, and players like we saw with Paqueta there just didn't expect a challenge to come in on him so quickly from Gordon, and he lost out, and Everton broke. Another ball high across the field by Iwobi, this time too far ahead of Gray, and out of play for a throw. It feels like we've been playing about 45 minutes, it's gone so quickly, but it's just the 25 so far at TalkSport Live. It's fair to say we're beginning to get some messages in on our Twitter account. And again, West Ham, do they give the ball away? No, Rice is able to step out, but he's up against Iwobi. And one person particularly unimpressed with the fans at Goodison who booed the silence for Her Majesty the Queen. I thought we might get some response to that. There is history on Merseyside that if you read up about it, you might have a bit more sympathy, maybe, but maybe not. And they're going to work their way out on the right hand side, West Ham. Bowen, so foul, blocked by Mikalenko behind. Another corner to West Ham, and more to do with the football. We've had a message from Brandon, who sent us a lovely picture of his dog Dermot, and he's thoroughly enjoying himself listening whilst out walking his dog. You a dog man?
No, not at all.
Cute one though, isn't he?
Yeah, he is, but
he's licking his nose.
Oh, I got bitten by one as a kid, and that put me off.
Fair enough. Bowen will take this corner, left-footed for West Ham, bit deeper this time, headed towards goal by Paqueta. Easy save for Begovic, very easy save for him. At TalkSport Live, you want to tell us your thoughts on the football as well, but as Brandon has done, send us some pictures where you're listening from. I love seeing them. Perhaps you're making some sort of delicious lunch or whatever, or you're out walking in the mountains or the desert or whatever. At TalkSport Live. And also, what are your thoughts on these two sides this season? Who finishes higher? Which manager do you prefer? Whose signings do you prefer, and what do you think is going to happen this afternoon with the game still 0-0 after 27 minutes? Ball in midfield with Everton, inside left position with Iwobi, forward to Damari Gray, nicely spread out to the right hand side. Patterson takes it slightly awkwardly on his chest, and then the cross is a bit floaty, and Souček can head it away to Fornals. Now Antonio chases out to the far side, and I think Cody knows that he had to bring him down there, because if Antonio rolls him and spins away, I'm not sure he thinks he's got the pace to cover, and so he's brought him down, and he's earned himself the first yellow card of the match.
Yeah, it is a yellow card. The frustration really with Cody remonstrating with the referee is that Paqueta's had 3 fouls. That's probably Cody's first, but Antonio would have been away. It is a yellow card.
Yeah, I think they call it a professional foul, don't they?
Yeah,
he knew exactly what he was doing. The sort of art that Pep Guardiola is a great exponent of, isn't he, with his Manchester City team. They're so good when they lose possession on just giving away the free kick.
Yeah, those little trips.
Reset.
Yeah, high up the pitch. You'll never get booked for them.
Just did there.
Yeah, no, the Man City. It's really interesting because when I played against Chelsea, Michael Ballack used to do exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Did he get booked for
Never.
it?
Never, ever.
Big names in it. It's that simple.
Big names, big clubs.
If your name's Dave Kitson, I'm afraid you probably get booked for it. If your name's Michael Ballack and you've won the World Cup, you probably don't. Because there's a foul there on the challenge coming in over on this near side by Mikalenko on Paqueta. And it's a free kick for West Ham. You can hear the boos. They think that Paqueta's fouled Mykolenko just as much, but it's fair to say that the Mykolenko one came first. Here's the delivery then for West Ham over on the right hand side. Plenty of bodies forward for them. Bowen or Sofar's completely scuffed that towards the edge of the box, and Idrissa Gueye has cleared, and then that's going to be volleyed forward again, and there's Begovic to claim. You weren't on the pitch or still at Stoke for Begovic's goal, were you? The famous goal.
No, I'd managed to escape by then.
He scored a goal that was a world record at the time, wasn't it? When it was 100 yards exactly that he scored that goal from Asmir Begovic. Crossfield ball is rather wasted by Everton. Here's Rice to Souček, and that's going to come all the way back to Fabianski. But it was when was it? Back in 2013 against Southampton. I think I'm right in saying the world record has since been beaten. There's now more than a 100-yard goal. So he's not there anymore. He's not in the Guinness Book of Records anymore, I'm afraid. But it must have been a nice record to have.
We'll have to have a go at something else. No, I just remember
smashing eggs on your head or something ridiculous.
3 crackers in a minute or something. Yeah, it's I remember Asmir when we came back to Stoke from pre-season. He was unbelievably fit, and he beat everybody in the bleep test and upset the entire squad.
Oh wow, yeah, that's really saying something. Down the right hand side come Everton. Now Patterson, that's a nice ball into the box for Gordon. He's laid it off to Onana down by the byline. Closed down by Thilo Kehrer, tries to just play it through the former PSG man's legs, and it's cleared away by I think it was Fornals who was behind him to clear into touch. Jamie Zakada, nice to have you listening and driving home with my daughter Jocelyn, and listening in and enjoying the show. Many thanks. And Carol's been, oh no, there's a shot that you'll like. No dogs, listening and dodging the raindrops on the Gulf Coast of Florida.
Oh, that is
Thank
nice.
you
I'll swap
so
you.
much. Yeah. What do you mean?
Well,
you're sat here with me. There can't be a greater joy. I'll tell you what. If we were on the coast of Florida, you'd be seeing me in a state of more undressed, and then you would want to change company. Trust me. At TalkSport Live. Thanks for sending that one in, Carol. Iwobi forward, up to Damari Gray inside left. Outside of him is Mykolenko. Again, the ball's towards the edge of the box. That final third, yet again, just lacking a yard of pace. And West Ham have it. That's going to bounce off of Mykolenko. Behind it goes. Everton fans think that should be a corner. It was very clearly, from our angle, a goal kick. Right decision. It remains scoreless. 32 minutes on the clock. And increasingly, as we said at the start, we thought the first goal would be big in this game. But right at this moment in time, you feel like it might be a one-goal match, mightn't it?
I think it might be. I mean, I was actually just looking at the... it's clear where the problems are for both teams,
yes,
isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's in front of goal.
Yeah.
I think Everton 4 goals in 6 games, West Ham with 3. I mean, you can't really achieve anything significant with those sorts of numbers.
The two sides with the fewest goals in the Premier League so far this season. 3 for West Ham. It's a joint low, and then Everton with their 4. Here's Bowen. Ricochets away from him, and Gordon picks up. It's been quiet, Anthony Gordon, so far today. Fades that back to Patterson. His clearance is well won in the air by Rice. It's going to drop to Souček. Souček into Paqueta. Can he get his feet right? No. Iwobi gets in. A couple of times that he's found himself in that position, an advanced position between midfield and defence, and then he just can't sort his feet out, or he wastes too much time, and that's poorly given away by West Ham again. This time Fornals straight to Iwobi. Turns away from Paqueta. Just on the attacking edge of the centre circle. Feeds Mopé. Inside him goes Mykolenko. Mopé with one outside of him in Gray. All right-footed on the left. There's his cross. Look for Onana. Needed to be headed away by Thilo Kehrer. Gay then heads it right for Patterson. He'll try and take on Paqueta for pace. Gets his shoulder in briefly. Lost out initially, and then Paqueta gets back at him. Fornals comes to help. West Ham clear through Cresswell. Cody beats Antonio to it. Might fall for West Ham, but one back by Patterson. He's been both brilliant and awful at times today as Nathan Patterson. Gay gives it to Iwobi. Spread to the left-hand side. Backtracking to keep it in is Gray. Iwobi. Gray. Mopé drifting from central to left, but he comes back to Idrissa Gueye once more. Now on halfway is Tarkowski. Nobody really pressing that ball. There's a ball round the corner by Gray. Comes back to him from Iwobi. Just hit it is the cry from the crowd, and probably the frustrated gesture from Dave Kitson alongside me as well there. Mikalenko though. Everton building up ahead of steam. Iwobi, give and go with Cody in an advanced position. There's the delivery in. Tries to find Cody again, who's come up from the back for some reason. Mikalenko, deep ball, cut back by Gordon, was it? No, he just couldn't quite wrap his foot around it. It skips off of his right shin and behind for the goal kick. But yet again, good opportunities to get balls into the box or to play the right pass. And yet again, Everton can't quite get it correct.
Yeah, I mean, there's no lack of balls going into the box from an Everton point of view, but it's an interesting way of playing for them, because there's no target man as such, and it's so easy for the West Ham defenders to clear the ball.
Going to be cleared away by Fabianski, on by Paqueta, one more by Antonio. Wouldn't drop for four now. It's cleared into the sky rather than away by Patterson. Antonio fighting for it, brought down by Tarkowski, but no foul. I think he's saying to Michael Oliver, can't have a free kick. Michael Oliver, by the way, if you're thinking about Cody, who's got booked in a position over on the far side with Antonio and has already been in that position a second time, won it fairly that time. Michael Oliver has sent off 4 Everton players in his last 4 games officiating them.
Well, we could easily have a 5th.
They've also had more red cards in the history of the Premier League than any other club, by the way, Everton. So it's... I'm not making any predictions, but I just saw that by Cody, and it made me think of that particular statistic, because, as I say, it was exactly the same position he was with against Antonio, over on the far side of the pitch from which he was already booked. And if he's caught in too many of them, you wonder whether he might be wrong side at some point. Anyway, just something to think about. Here's Gay into the centre circle, back right on the halfway line for Onana. Finds Iwobi. Mikalenko. Iwobi. Mopay. And the ball forward that time by Onana. Can't find Mikalenko. That's going to run behind for the goal kick. One of the things I wonder whether they're really missing is I mean, Mopay might turn out to be a decent signing, but he's someone that sort of drops a bit deeper, and he's not really the focal point.
Yeah.
And Dominic Calvert-Lewin, there was briefly talk that he might be available for today. He's back, certainly in training. Frank Lampard said we'll have to see whether he's ready to start in his pre-match press conference. He's actually not even on the substitutes bench, by the way. The bench is Eldin Jakupovic, who was signed as a short-term cover for Jordan Pickford, is the substitute keeper for Everton. Michael Keane, Dwight McNeil only on the bench today. Abdoulaye Doucouré, he is back from injury. Seamus Coleman, Tom Davis, Ruben Vinagre, Solomon Rondon and James Garner, who might yet make his debut, the signing from Manchester United. As West Ham come forward, there's a ball in by Paqueta, and it just wouldn't get over Begovic and drop to the on-rushing Michail Antonio. West Ham's bench is also pretty strong. Alphonse Areola, Gianluca Scamacca. Just see this one out here. Here's Everton bringing the ball away with Gay. It's okay. And they're going to come through the lines again. Gay tries to find Patterson. It's going to reach him. Onana turns Rice. But then the ball is behind Iwobi, and away comes Bowen. Straight down the centre of the field. Out to the right-hand side for Antonio. It's well behind him. And it's easily picked up by Tarkowski, who's going to stretch his legs and come out of defence and give it to Anthony Gordon. Gordon tries the ball up to Mopay. Inside right position. Who's with him? Gordon is. It bounces off of Rice, and he's just going to allow that one to run behind for the corner.
Do you know, it's what makes the Premier League so exciting. It is actually there must be fans watching this on the continent just in disbelief at how often the ball changes hands.
Yeah.
The amount of mistakes, but it is what makes it so exciting.
So another corner for Everton, just their second of the game. Remember, West Ham already had 7. Neither keeper's been tested yet. Maybe that changes here. Cody's forward, Tarkowski's forward, Mopay's in and around it. Onana would be an obvious target. It's towards Onana. It's sort of bounced it back up into the sky. It's going to come for Iwobi. Back into the mix, so it goes towards Cody, and the keeper will come and claim ahead of Declan Rice. And just to finish off the rest of the substitutes bench for West Ham, Areola's the keeper. They've got Gianluca Scamacca, Manuel Lanzini, Flynn Downs, Maxwell Cornet, Craig Dawson, Angelo Ogbonna, Said Benrahma and Emerson. By the way, Manuel Lanzini has only scored more against 2 clubs than he has against Everton. So he's a potential match-winning option if David Moyes so wishes. I'd be surprised to see him at some point today. This Sofal on the right inside the Everton half. Rice, Souček a goal away from reaching 20 in the Premier League. Only 2 Czech players have already reached that margin. Hazard a guess who? Any idea?
Thomas Rosicky?
No. Didn't reach 20.
Didn't he really? That's surprising.
Going to have to go a bit further back than either of those 2.
Oh, Patrick Berger.
Yes. That's one of them. The other one I feel like is he should be more memorable than he is. He did also play for Liverpool. That's a big clue. Lovely little layoff there by Mopé into Iwobi. Tries to feed it back to Mopé. Looked like he hesitated with the initial run, and then Zuma was able to get across.
Oh, Smica was it?
No.
Oh. I'm giving up officially.
He was involved in the Champions League win in 2005.
Milan Baros.
Yes, Milan Baros. Did you just get help from the producer?
Absolutely not. I don't know what you're talking about.
Absolutely disgusting. At TalkSport Live, give Dave some abuse for cheating on my mini quiz.
I actually think the producer and I should swap roles.
4.5 minutes left in this first half. 0-0, but a free kick to Everton on the left-hand side in a good position as well. 7 yards from the byline. Damari Gray is over it. We've had mixed quality off of his boot from dead balls so far. What's this one like? In it goes towards Onana. Didn't even jump. Neither did Thilo Kehrer, and it drops over their heads and goes behind.
Yeah, I mean, it's very... I'm quite surprised at Everton, because I would have thought that Frank would have been working on some sort of different set pieces, something more, a bit more ingenuity about it. Everything that they've done has just gone straight into the box without any real direction or pace. Or
he's probably been trying to fix all the defensive problems with set pieces. Only Leicester conceded more set piece goals last season than Everton did. You sort of think, at least if we don't concede from them, it'll be a start. Fornals down the far side, Cresswell down the far side, I should say. Gordon manages to get a toe in. Cresswell takes the throw. Fornals gets a bit of fortune with a lucky ricochet that comes back at him. Gordon with the challenge again. Good robust challenge from the young winger who's been at the club since he was 11 years old. Practically bleeds blue. And he's won the ball for his team, and they've got it into the area with Asmir Begovic. 3 minutes left for play in this first half plus stoppage time.
He's caught a few players out, Gordon.
Yes,
West Ham players
Paqueta
out.
A couple of times.
Yeah, he's so quick, and people they think they've got more time on the ball than they actually have with him around.
The more you watch him, are you beginning to see why there was justification in that sort of 50 to 60 million valuation, or is that just about Everton can't afford to lose him?
Well, I think there's a bit of both, but I look at him and think, at that sort of value, you're buying a player at his age, you're buying a player for the next 10 years, aren't you?
Yes.
And we know that, there's a premium attached to players like him, but I
mean, is he ever going to be worth that kind of money? That's the question. It's Gray in a central position. There might have been a hint of handball about the way he controlled it, but play will go on. Patterson, Onana, back to Patterson, heavy that one, but he's kept it in. The Scot fires it against the Spaniard Pablo Fornals, helping out defensively, and he'll take the throw in. And this game is delicately poised at 0-0. Increasingly, you feel like it'll take one big chance for this game to be won or lost.
Yeah, I think this is where it works against you as the home team. The longer this scoreline goes on, the more nervous everybody gets.
That's nice interplay, but Patterson can't bring it under control, and Antonio takes it off him, but he's a long way from goal. Works it to the right-hand side for Sofal, then the ball into the channel. Antonio's got great pace, but he looked for all the world he was going to get there first until Tarkowski came flying out from central defence to the left side of the pitch and smacked it away with a sliding challenge into touch. Throw in for West Ham. And then Gay, well, he cuts out the throw, but he's giving it straight back to Sofal. Bit of space, bit of time. Gay gets back at him. Corner to West Ham.
Yeah, he's screaming at the wide men, Sofal, because he wants to cross that ball. And there's nobody arriving. He had to delay, and he's done well, actually, to get anything out of that.
So forward come Kera, Zuma, Rice, Souček. All big, powerful options in the 18-yard box. They need better quality from these deliveries, though. In it comes, and then it's flicked away, back in by Rice. Only a blue shirt's there to defend, though. Fornals back out to the near side for Jared Bowen, who'd taken the corner in the first place. Rice, Fornals, closed down by Onana. Works it across to Cresswell. Plenty of time, no pressure on the ball at all. Everton on the toes of their keeper, and then the ball in towards Zuma. It was a flicked-on header, really. And that one is meat and drink for Asmir Begovic.
Yeah, there's an overload, though. There's 5 West Ham players in the box at one point there. It's not the worst ball in the world. Frank Lampard must be going mad that no one closed down that ball.
They come out of defence to Everton as we move into a minute of stoppage time. Jordan Pickford, by the way, since he arrived at Everton, had in theory, the opportunity to play 196 games prior to today. He's played 186 of them. Win percentage was 36%. Win percentage for the 10 games without him, 30%. So, it's not a huge difference. But I would imagine last season I thought he was practically faultless last season. Anyone that questioned his England place last year of all, I feel like he was key to them staying in the Premier League in many ways over the course of the whole campaign. As Mopé looks to spin Zuma, which bounced a bit awkwardly for him, and Zuma was able to turn first, gives it to Kera, and the half-time whistle should go there. It certainly does. Well, it's been a half full of entertainment, maybe not necessarily big opportunities, in fact not that many opportunities at all, can't remember many. Certainly we saw Zuma's flicked header saved in the last few moments there, but otherwise more about last-ditch defending in many ways, and that's why at half-time it's Everton 0, West Ham 0, and you're listening to Premier League Live.
Got an unquenchable thirst for sport? Get up to speed with the day's biggest sports stories with the Talk Sport Hit. Crammed full of the latest team news, big match previews, and discussing the day's hottest topics.
An improvement week in, week out.
Plus, get all the latest results and full fan reaction to the biggest events in world sport.
It's a wonderful goal!
Satisfy your thirst for sports news with the Talk Sport Hit. Subscribe now on Acast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Previously on White and Jordan.
People are going to turn around and say this is all saccharine and sentiment.
I know about sentiment. What's saccharin?
Saccharin is a sweet way of looking at the world.
I thought it was a soluble aspirin.
Comment, conflict and confrontation.
By God, it was eventful to say the least of it.
You look at this and say, some celebrations are better than others.
Disagree to disagree.
Is it not a courtesy thing, though? Is it not a matter of courtesy?
Oh, yeah, because football's full of courtesy.
Are you serious?
I'm absolutely serious.
Jim White and Simon Jordan continues weekday mornings from 10 on Talk Sport. Talk Sport Breakfast, the only breakfast show worth getting up for. Talk Sport Breakfast with Laura Woods and Ali McCoist. Updated, upmarket, up with the lark.
What is happening there?
Talk Sport Breakfast, Monday to Wednesday morning from 6 on Talk Sport.
Mariella Meets on Times Radio. Listen to the podcast from Times Radio, where Mariella talks to a host of big names from the worlds of politics, entertainment, culture and the arts, including Dame Joan Collins.
A reporter said to me, what are you going to do if this all ends? And I said, it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. One of the things you have to know about fame is it ain't gonna last.
Mariella Meets on Times Radio. Listen for free.
from 4 on TalkSport. Unrivaled, opinionated comment from the biggest names in sport.
Join me, Andy Goldstein, and TalkSport Team Drive.
A tower of sporting power in the afternoon.
Adrenaline-soaked, seat-swapping high-performance radio where horsepower meets goal power.
TalkSport Drive.
100% nationwide coverage.
Weekday afternoons from 4 on TalkSport. The fastest football on the way home. TalkSport Drive.
Hey, it's Brian Dunseth, former Olympian and current SiriusXM FC host. Do you need more than your average recap of the weekend in soccer?
Sorry, America, but it is the biggest sport in the world.
Well, look no further than Weekend in Tackle. This podcast is all about stories we want you to know, from the most important on-the-field moments to the lighter side of the beautiful game.
You were jumping up and down like a lunatic. That's 7 beers before the game for you.
It's all on Weekend in Tackle, available every Monday, wherever you stream your podcast or listen on the SXM app, included with most subscriptions.
Here's Bowen at the other end, though, and he might have got goal side here of Mikalenko. He has rolled across, and somehow Conor Cody diverts it behind. I thought for a moment it might end up in his own net, but he stopped Mikel Antonio having a tap in. Corner to West Ham could have been much, much worse for Everton.
Well, it's brilliant from Cody. It's awful for defenders when you're facing your own goal and the ball's coming that fast at you. You need a bit of luck to steer it the right side of the post, and Cody gets it. Great defending.
Well, that's just about the only highlight that our producer James has managed to produce for the first half. And it's a bizarre thing, isn't it, that, Dave? Because we've kind of thoroughly enjoyed it, albeit we're not talking about plenty of goal-mouth incident. It's a difficult game to sort of wax lyrical about because of that, and yet it's been great.
It has been thoroughly entertaining. Like I mentioned in the commentary, that the turnover of the ball is what makes it exciting, because no one's really keeping it.
No.
There's so many mistakes, and one team will counter and the next team will counter. It's actually really, really entertaining. It's not a game for the purists, really. But I mean, what it is doing is it's really, really highlighting Everton's need for a striker.
Yeah. So is that sort of turnover, the regular turnover, is that a lack of quality, or is that about good pressing? How are you analysing the reason for that sort of thing?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think there's a bit of nerves, actually.
Yeah.
And certainly I think on Everton's part there's nerves, because this game is huge. And I do think the longer this game goes on 0-0, where it can work against you as the home team, as I said before, is when the crowd starts getting nervous, it plays into the opposition's hands, and it's just a question of whether or not West Ham can take advantage of that if the game does go down that road. It's
one of those, I mean, I try not to throw in too many statistics, but when you've drawn 4 on the trot, if they were to lose today, but anyway, you sort of start talking about, well, they haven't won in 5, as opposed to, they're unbeaten in 5 kind of thing. And does that matter when you're a player like that? If they draw 5 in a row, is that sort of all right, or when do you start worrying about?
Well, listen,
that?
if they draw every game, they'll go down.
Yeah, well, that's true.
So they've got to start winning. And I think really, and I sort of alluded to it before, is that if you're Frank Lampard, you actually kind of need to think, well, all right, we're not getting beaten, but at the same time, am I doing enough? Am I giving them the tools to go out and win football matches? And at the minute, I don't think they are. And the set pieces really is the standout for me, because everything's just going in aimlessly.
Yeah.
There's no real sort of imagination on the set pieces, and the West Ham, they're just heading everything out. They've been so comfortable.
Well, are the tools, or is the tool not available to him? Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and I mean that in don't laugh. You know what I mean? You're the one that said the tools.
that can go on the highlight reel.
I've asked the question. You know what I mean? Is that what they're missing?
They are. They clearly are, because
and maybe Richarlison.
Yeah, he's a huge loss, and we've seen how good he is at Spurs. But they are very, very blunt up front. Not to take anything away from Mopé, but if you're just slinging balls in aimlessly against 2 giant centre halves, is probably not going to do very well against them, is he? Let's be honest. You need a bit of imagination, something different. I thought for all the world one of the free kicks was going to be cut back to the edge of the box, because they were completely unmarked, and it's almost like it's ingrained in them just to sling it into the box and see what happens. And to be honest, at the moment, it's very hit and hope.
I mean, it can be done without a big number 9, can't it? You know, but is that just about the? You know, we've seen it, say with Liverpool, say with Manchester City. But is that about the quality of player? Is it as simple as that?
It is as simple as that. I don't think that. Look, you know, when you're talking about the Agueros and the Salahs and the Manes of this world, you know, Mopé is not in that bracket. Yeah. I think he would admit that himself. So you have to go down a different road. You know, you can't just keep slinging balls in aimlessly. And I mentioned earlier on that they had a chance to slip him in 1-on-1 against a defender. And didn't do that. So it's not all down to him, you know. You've got to give him something to work with, and they're just not doing that at the minute.
No. I mean, look, we're talking about Everton like it's all terrible, but currently they've scored one more goal than West Ham this season. They're not in the relegation zone. West Ham are. I mean, I don't really take any notice of the table at these moments, but you know, there is a dotted line that gets drawn even after game 1. And so I suppose it's something to just talk about generally. But you know, where are West Ham's goals going to come from? Are we surprised that we're not seeing Scamacca starting these Premier League games? He has got 3 goals this season, albeit all of them in Europe.
Well, I think we might see a change fairly soon in the second half, if not at half time. And Paqueta has got into the opposite side of the midfield, the goal side of midfield, in that sort of number 10 Bergkamp position. But I think he's being caught out by how quick the Premier League is. He's been robbed twice in really good positions where it's just either he needs to shift it and shoot or slip somebody in, Antonio. And it's frustrating West Ham because they are getting into the positions and letting themselves down at times. And I think that's something that they need to address. I think they probably look the more dangerous team, but it's that final ball.
I mean, if they can get some good deliveries in to Scamacca, I thought it was notable. I was having a look at his statistics from last season. He got 16 goals for Sassuolo in Serie A. All but 3 of them were from inside the posts, i.e. you're getting the ball in from wide, and he is, you know, within a sort of 8-yard radius of the penalty spot.
Yeah, for me that is fantastic. If you look at somebody like Haaland, for example, at City, all of his goals are coming from inside the 6-yard box. At Dortmund, most of them were running on, and you need that player. That is probably the most important part of the football pitch at both ends, is in that 6-yard box. If you don't have anyone attacking the ball, you're really up against it.
Yeah, 7 points worse off this season than they were at this stage last season, when they'd scored 10 more goals. They conceded the same number. Do we ever start talking about sort of the future of these coaches if these runs continue, you know, in the near future, or are they both totally safe?
No, I don't think any manager is totally safe. To be perfectly honest, what Everton will know is that Frank got them out of the situation last year. Yeah. You know, so there's no reason to suggest why he can't do it again.
Anyone would have improved things considering the way the club was under Rafa Benitez.
Yeah. It is a mess. Everton is a mess at the moment. I mean, they don't really know whether they're coming and going. It must be a nightmare for the fans. But look, on the one hand, they haven't spent a massive amount of money. No. West Ham have, and they're both in the same boat.
They certainly are, yeah, and the second half is still to come, and they're still in the same boat as they were at the start. 0-0. You're listening to Premier League Live.
Global events.
The priority now is collecting the evidence.
Breaking news.
Every life that they can save is a success.
Reactive analysis.
It's a very bizarre situation.
From the world's best journalists.
An unfortunate pattern is emerging.
And renowned experts from across the globe.
It still doesn't resolve the fundamental issues.
Keeping you informed as events unfold.
This is a flagrant violation of international law.
Times Radio is available to listen without a subscription. On DAB digital radio, online via the Times Radio app, and on your smart speaker. Times Radio. Know your times.
TalkSport Drive, weekday afternoons from 4 on TalkSport. A tower of sporting power in the afternoon.
Join me, Andy Goldstein, and TalkSport Team Drive.
The latest sports news, hard-hitting opinion, and exclusive interviews with the biggest names in the game.
Under the bonnet, over the top, into the back of the net.
Sports Mad Afternoon Radio, driven by you.
Revs up weekdays from 4, only on TalkSport.
The fastest football on the way home.
TalkSport Drive.
Previously on White and Jordan.
It costs the taxpayer zip, zero, zilch, nada, Nathan, nothing.
White hot sports news, incomparable comment.
I mean, honestly, soft tissue injury, 50% up.
Okay.
And at the same stage last season, they don't lie.
Statistics are the beginning of a conversation, Jim, not the end of it.
Comments, conflict and confrontation.
International friendlies, ditch them. Gone. Carabao Cup, gone. FA Cup, gone.
Jim White.
4 words, never going to happen.
Simon Jordan.
Go away and come back when you've got something more grown up to say.
Continues weekday mornings from 10 on Talk Sport.
Yeah.
Times Radio, making sense of a changing world.
The biggest names in politics.
The Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, is here.
Well, a great honour to be here.
The arts.
My first guest is the acclaimed director Werner Herzog.
Entertainment.
I'm joined by Darren Brown.
World events at home and abroad.
Shots have been fired in the Black Sea.
And the world's best resourced, intelligent opinion.
I came into politics to change lives.
In times of change, be well informed.
Times Radio is available to listen without a subscription on DAB digital radio, online via the Times Radio app and on your smart speaker.
Times Radio.
TalkSport Breakfast. Weekday mornings from 6. A new day, a new dawn.
God bless. Bang, bang, bang. 9 dart finish.
Featuring a rotating team of top name talent, including Laura Woods.
Oh, it does make me a little bit...
Ali McCoist.
What a mouth-watering prospect.
And Alan Brazil.
You know, you are some blagger, you are.
TalkSport Breakfast.
Look, we've woken up, finally.
We have, we're off and running.
Yeah. Weekday mornings from 6 on TalkSport.
You're listening to TalkSport's coverage of Everton against West Ham from Goodison. I'm your match commentator, Toby Gillis. We have a former Stoke, Portsmouth, Reading Premier League striker, Dave Kitson, alongside me. This is Premier League Live as the West Ham players emerge from the narrow tunnel, signalled by the little Everton badge on top of it. Nil satis nisi optimum. Nothing but the best is the slogan of the club. I think it's fair to say they're a long way off the best at this moment in time, a long way off their best as well. And you do think, I mean, football's a strange thing, isn't it, because it sort of goes on forever. You do wonder what the point of all those years of building under David Moyes were.
Yeah.
For them to be here when, basically, I mean, obviously they've got Farhad Mashiri involved now, so there's more money, but Bill Kenwright's still heavily involved. The club essentially is the same.
Yeah.
And yet he got them, I mean, literally on the brink of the Champions League, that Villarreal qualification tie that they lost tightly. They were European contenders 4 times, or in European competition 4 times under him, and you're going, what on earth did Bill Kenwright do? What did he learn during that period for Everton to be stuck where they are now, basically in the same position as they were when Moyes arrived, which is relegation fodder?
Yeah, it's funny. It is. I think about that question a lot, actually. It's the oldest David Mitchell quote, isn't it? The football never ends. And when I finished as a player, I thought, well, what was that? What was that all about?
Yeah.
And the only thing I can conclude is legacy.
Yeah.
That you leave something in a better shape than when you found it. And I watched Reading on TV the other day. We won the league down there.
Yes.
And I watched them get hammered at home by Sunderland. I just think, well, what was the point of it? What have we got? What did we leave?
Well, they were top of the table briefly, weren't they, Reading? I did their game against Millwall when they went top of the league. But anyway, that's for another occasion. Everton 0, West Ham 0 is the half-time score. We're 20 seconds into the second half. Everton have kicked us off shooting from left to right. No changes for either side, so Everton all in blue. That's an awkward ball back to Begovic. Good test of his footwork, but he's used his bleep test fitness there to keep it in, get his leg high enough to stop it running out for a corner, and Everton have it at the back. So they've got Begovic, the goalkeeper, Patterson, Cody, Tarkovsky and Mikalenko, Gay and Onana and Iwobi, and then Gray, Gordon and Mope. It's Fabianski in goal for the Hammers. Sofal, Zuma, Kera, Cresswell, Souček, Rice, Bowen, Paqueta, Fornals and Antonio. And it's 0-0 with basically no shots on goal, even though it was a brilliant first half. Maybe Everton can change that now. Mikalenko's ball in. Oh, it might come to Damari Gray. Zuma went for it, and he just about slid that away from Gray. It's gone behind. But I have to say, I thought as Gray was going in for it, there might have been a challenge by Kera, who caught him from behind No, maybe not. I think he's just slid in,
Yeah,
knowing that
he's
lost
trying
the
it
ball
on. He is 100% trying it on because he went to get up, heard the crowd's
I'm not even
cheers.
sure he tried, did he? Yeah, in fairness. Corner to Everton anyway. Has there been any creativity put into these set pieces at half time? I would imagine that's not something that you can do in 15 minutes in a dressing room, but you never know. No, awful. Oh, off of Soufal and behind for another corner. Well, it was a terrible delivery, but it was terrible defending. Corner again. He's actually hit it with one leg onto his standing leg, and it's bounced away.
I think it was that bad that it caught it actually caught him out.
It did, yeah, absolutely. At Talk Sport Live, come on, keep sending us some entertainment. We want your pictures and we want your predictions and thoughts on these two teams. At Talk Sport Live, here's Gray's delivery. That's a better one, isn't it? No, headed away from the edge of the 6-yard box by Thilo Kehrer, formerly of Schalke in Germany, and then went to Paris Saint-Germain. It's a slightly dodgy header there across their own 18-yard back box by West Ham, but they've got it away and they'll pick it up with Fornals, who moves it left to Declan Rice. He's taking his time over it. Up to Fornals now on the left-hand side. Cresswell will go on the overlap. Back to Rice instead. Now Cresswell slips in Fornals. If he can keep it in, that's a good one. He's cut it back to the edge of the box. And the spin and shot by Bowen from just left of the penalty spot goes over the crossbar. Better from West Ham, though. Good quality delivery, that one, by Fornals. And Bowen might think he should have done better.
Yeah, and he was onside as well, Fornals. When he gets this ball into him, he does really well because he catches Everton out because he puts it in so quickly. Bowen just peels off his man. Do you know what? It is tricky to hit, but he might feel he could have done a little bit better. He's got a wand of a left foot, and this by far and away the best chance of the game.
Yeah, it was a decent effort and a decent chance. It was a bit behind him, but sometimes I think that can actually help you rather than hinder you, and he did sit up at a pretty nice height as the hammers go long again. This time it's overhit, runs out for Bowen, and that's going to be Everton throw, which they've taken quickly, and they clear up towards Mopé. Inevitably he loses out to Zuma, but it bounced for Onana. Mopé into the centre circle for Idrissa Gana Gueye. Now here's Iwobi. That's a better ball by Iwobi. To the left for Gray. Two in the box to aim for. He goes for goal himself. And it's really well held, that by Fabianski. It was travelling, and perhaps he might have expected the cross instead. So he's done well, not just to save it, but to hold it.
Yeah, Everton going down that left-hand side a lot. Clearly it's something that Lampard has identified at half-time, where they can get some joy.
But it was straight at Fabianski. I actually think if it hadn't been held, he probably would have hit it straight into his face and still bounced away and been safe. So either way, but you don't really want one of those wallops at your face. It's bending a little bit. He'll be pretty safe and comfortable with that. Here's Kehrer into the Everton half, slightly to the left with Cresswell. Fornals. Sometimes wonder what you get with Fornals. Not quick, not that skillful. Works quite hard, I suppose. Everton will pick up here a slightly loose ball by Kehrer, but Gordon plays it behind Onana. He still had time, Onana, to turn onto that one, and he didn't really make any attempt to win it off of Bowen. And if there's one thing you've got to do when you're wearing an Everton shirt, it's work as hard as you can, and he looked like he gave up on that.
Yeah, it's those giving away those types of balls, the accumulation of them, that is going to turn this match.
Fornals to Antonio. There's his cross. Easy header away by Tarkowski, but he didn't get much distance on it. It's come to the left for Fornals. There's his cross again. That's over Souček. Gray, I think, will shepherd that one behind for a goal kick. He will do.
Yeah, what I mean by that is that Everton keep giving away easy balls like that in the transfer of play, and what will happen is the crowd will start to get impatient and they'll start to get edgy and nervous.
Yeah. At TalkSport Live. Your opportunity to get involved, get yourself a shout out if you like that sort of thing. And what do you reckon? What do you reckon about Lampard and Moyes? Who's the better manager? There you go, let's put that one out there. Who would you rather have in charge of your team? Whichever team you're you support. As the referee stops play for a problem with Michail Antonio, who's down.
Yeah, he just went to flick the ball on and got Conor Cody's head in the back of his own head.
You can see we're sort of watching a replay of that incident, aren't we? We just saw the crowd after it, and they just sat there.
Yeah.
It's, this is supposed to be. It's one of the old grounds where the fans are right on top of the pitch. Very little room around it. It's pretty claustrophobic for the players, and yet, there's a bit of noise. But they're not offering to sort of really drag their team to victory here today, which they're capable of. I mean, if you saw the atmosphere in their last win, the game I commentated on against Crystal Palace when they came from behind to ensure safety, it was extraordinary that night, the atmosphere, and they just need that. They really need that, the players, at the moment, it feels. Iwobi, that's a better ball to Mopey! Opens his account for Everton! Finally, Iwobi plays a forward pass! Finally, he gives the striker an opportunity! Finally, we have a goal! Everton 1, West Ham 0, Neil Mopey.
Oh, it's a huge goal in the context of this, not only this game, but for Everton as a football club. It's massive, and it's Mopey. And this is what happens when you actually become brave on the ball, and you stop playing the easy sideways pass, and you play it into someone who can fashion a chance for you. And that's what they do. Iwobi finally, as you say, plays it in to Mopey. Doesn't really have any right to get a shot off because it's so tight. He's got three players around him. His first touch, I have to say,
magnificent. I was just thinking that.
It sits up fantastically well, and he's not even struck it that hard. It's more about the placement inside Fabianski's near post. It's a wonderful strike. Fabianski's got no chance, and Goodison Park has lifted off.
Kehra's got to do better than that, hasn't he, though? Came to him, and he allowed the ball to bounce once Mopey had taken it on his right foot and turned basically 180 degrees, and he had time to clear it. Surely, Kehra.
I think if you play a ball into a front man there on the edge of the box, and there's two centre halves marking one man, you'd be entitled, if you were David Moyes, to think, well, someone really should be right behind him. There's no way he should be allowed to turn.
I thought that was poor. Souček anyway. Here come West Ham. Sofal, Bowen now. There's the cross to Antonio, and suddenly we got a game. But that is a comfortable save for Asmir Begovic, and his clearance is headed away by Kehra to Gordon, who goes down under a challenge by Rice. That's nothing. Poor from Gordon to go to ground. But look at the expanse of space in the midfield. Up come West Ham again. Antonio. Space on the left for Fornals. Loads of it too. Into the box he goes. Fornals. It's just blocked by Idrissa Gueye. I think he's going to be massive for Everton, Gueye.
Yeah.
I like him. I even liked him in that Villa team that got relegated. But here they go again. Absolute acres. Left-hand side. Gray attacking Sofal. Damari Gray. It was only just ahead of Mopey. It'll be kept in by Gordon on the near side. Time. There's the cross. Right away. Throw into Everton high up the field on the right.
Oh, it's brilliant from Gray, and it's a definite tactic. They're getting the ball to him as early as they possibly can. He's seeing loads of it early on. Mopey would have been offside if he'd have stuck that in the net, but it's a wonderful ball nonetheless.
We've really got a game now. Here's Mopey again. Might fancy it once more. That's blocked by Zuma, and behind it goes for Everton's fifth corner of the game.
He's finding those little pockets, Mopey, now, and the West Ham, to be fair, they've had a warning. He's already turned them once and stopped the ball in the net, and he's just done it again. This time it's blocked.
Got an unbelievable Premier League record, it has to be said. 27 goals and 109 games for Brighton. His best Premier League season is 10, but I'll tell you what, with a clinical finishing like that, you've got to think that there's more than that in him at some point. Here's Damari Gray with the corner. Second goal surely finishes this game, you'd think already. It's going to come away though for Rice into the left back position. Checks and turns and keeps it away from Mopey. Gives it infield to Kehra. Forward ball to Fornals. Loads of space on the right hand side now for Bowen. Will Mikalenko get there first? He will. Andy prevents the throw, does he? No. Taken quickly, taken very quickly. Here's Bowen. 2 to aim for. Bowen goes for it alone. And there's a chance for Gray now to pick up and help clear. and Mykolenko does the rest.
Well, I'd be furious if I was Bowen. He desperately wants to just drop it onto the edge of the box for someone to come running onto, and his midfield have completely let him down. Took them an age to arrive, and he had to go alone.
It just didn't arrive. The only option was Antonio. He was too close to him. Paqueta, deep position inside his own half for West Ham. To the left for Rice. One more outside of him if he wishes in Cresswell. Uses him now, and look at the space for Cresswell. Level with the 6-yard box on the left. Took too long. Gordon back. Corner West Ham. Could have been worse. Gordon is screaming at Patterson. Two early 20s kids fired up for their side.
Well, how long do you want, Cresswell?
Yeah.
Just put the ball in the box.
Yeah.
What are you waiting for?
4 now's to take. Can they finally get one right, West Ham? In it goes towards the near post. No, they can't. Onana away. Cresswell's first touch takes him backwards. Infield he comes to Sofal, who's just going to make sure that he gets it away from Mope and give it to Fabianski. And I don't know what that is.
Tarkowski's gone down. I think the ref stopped it.
Absolutely right, he has. Yeah, down the other end of the field. A little foot injury maybe, and we're going to see a couple of changes for West Ham, and I'm absolutely not surprised. Benrahma and Maxwell Cornet being readied. Definitely something needs to change. I'm amazed Cornet isn't just an automatic starter in this West Ham team, aren't you?
Yeah, I am actually, and I was just thinking that I might have been tempted if I was David Moyes to do this at half time, because I think the game's too quick for Paqueta. He's getting deeper and deeper as well, which is not where they want him particularly.
Interesting to see who they make the changes for. I suspect Fornals will be one of those coming off. And will it be Paqueta as well? I think the Hammers will be disappointed by their new record signing so far. But, as you say, unless you're buying absolute megastar quality, there is some time to get used to the Premier League. Ball into the centre of the field, finds Mikhail Antonio. Needed some support from Paqueta, and he's passed it behind him. Tarkowski's okay and back at it, and here's Mykolenko. Gets it back from Gray. Ball forward to Iwobi, he's onside too. He's got 2 more up with him. One of them is Gordon, it's just beyond Gordon. Takes his time to pick up on the right hand side. Flag is up.
I thought it was, but it's dangerous from West Ham. You don't play a high line when there's no pressure on the ball. They are so high up the pitch. There's so much space in behind.
I'm not sure that Iwobi's offside. I think is it Gordon that's off? That was tighter. I definitely don't think it was the Iwobi one, did you?
No, I think it was the ball that Iwobi played after, once Gordon became active.
And that's probably disappointing from Gordon really as well, looking along the line, had the entire line to watch. Yeah. And the pass wasn't quite right anyway. West Ham have it with Antonio. Souček. Now down the line by Fornals to Antonio again. Turns Cody, cuts it back into the edge of the area. Here's the shot. It's going to come back from Bowen's effort, which was blocked away. And Everton will come again with Onana. Gordon. And he's going to come safety first as we reach the hour mark, with Everton leading 1-0, and it's with Tarkowski at back.
I want to see a replay, but I'm going to stick my neck out and say that was going in from Bowen before it got blocked.
Might have been, yeah. Yeah, Begovic hasn't really had a big save to make so far. As he clears the ball away, that one's going to hit Mope. He's bounced into Fornals. You could see that was coming, couldn't you? He knew the moment he got touched he was going down. And here come the changes. I'm reliably told that Paqueta will be one of those coming off for Benrahma. Oh, you're absolutely right. I think that was wider Begovic. We've just seen the replay by Bowen. Let's see once again. It goes through the legs of Mykolenko and is blocked by Tarkowski. Might just have been wider Begovic. So changes made. Paqueta off, Fornals off, Said Benrahma and Maxwell Cornet on. So straight swaps.
That's a book.
But different types as Patterson goes in on Cornet. And as you say, gets himself the yellow card. The free kick then taken too quickly for the referee's liking. And the yellow card goes the way of Nathan Patterson, the second Everton. It was Patterson, wasn't it? Not
well,
Gordon.
it was Patterson who fouled him.
Yeah.
But I think the referee's giving it to Gordon. I'm not quite sure how that works.
No, I don't think. I'm sure it'll all be corrected in the space of time, but at this moment in time it does appear that Gordon's the one that's got the yellow card. So that may yet be corrected. Don't get VAR with mistaken identity for yellow cards at this moment in time. Anyway, Everton have the ball at the back with Cody. We are reaching not far away from that 70-minute mark when there will be a minute's applause by fans for Her Majesty the Queen. We assume there will be. It was a minute's silence wasn't particularly well observed. I would have thought a minute's applause might be better observed because it might drown out any boos. Here's Gray, spreads it to Gordon. Lovely drop of the shoulder to move away from Cresswell. Early ball in as well, but it's overhit. Gray will go and pick it up over on the far side. Bowen closes him down. Back it comes to Mikalenko. There's the cross by him, headed away by Cresswell. Bounces off of Ben Rama to Iwobi. Gray, couple of step overs, then moves back onto his right foot. Over on the far side, and here's Iwobi again. Lovely assist by Iwobi, wasn't it? You know, he talked about it. Fizz those passes into a striker. It's the kind of thing they want, and you've got to trust your striker has the first touch and the sort of quality to almost create the goal for himself when it gets fizzed in like that. And it's exactly how you predicted it. Gordon, little 1-2 with Mopa. Looks like he's brimming with confidence since that goal. Iwobi up to the edge of the box for Mikalenko. Now he moves it out left foot. Gray takes it onto his left foot. Lovely little drag and cross goal, and it just needed the tiniest of taps, but it's rolled wide and it's a goal kick.
Well, it's decent play from Everton, but West Ham are so far off them. They've just played right through them. No one's laid a glove on an Everton player. Demarai Gray does the right thing. Great ball across the box. Oh, it's just begging for someone to tap that in.
Confirmation, by the way, that yellow card was for Anthony Gordon, and it's for pushing or pulling an opponent. Still think he was fouled by Patterson.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Anyway, here's Souček, and that's let run by Cornet into Cresswell, and then Cornet's gone on. Can he get the cross in? Early one this time, headed away by Conor Cody. There's one thing Conor Cody is doing at Everton. It's ending the myth that he can only play as a central player in a back three.
Yeah, it's just the most ridiculous thing ever. Like, it's the only position on the football pitch. Some people, honestly, talking absolute nonsense. I mean, he's probably played as a centre-half since he was a kid.
Yeah.
He played thousands of games.
In fairness to him, I think he did play as a central midfielder at various points when he was a kid at Liverpool, but
yeah.
I take your point.
He
isn't a kid anymore,
no.
So he's played at centre-half enough times. He briefly did do it with England, didn't he? But I think, was it the San Marino game where they played 4 at the back, and you thought, yeah, I'm not sure that's one to judge it on. But,
yeah, well, playing 4 at the back against San Marino is probably the most...
Even that's too many. 1 at the back will do. Here's Mikalenko. Although you say that, there's a famous incident where England played San Marino and were behind, was it 7 seconds?
Yeah.
They needed to win by 7 goals to qualify for the tournament, whichever one it was.
Yeah.
And they only won 7-1 instead of 7-0.
The good old days.
And, yeah. Anyway, here's Said Ben Rama on the right-hand side for West Ham, inside the Everton half, comes back to Souček. There's one more outside of him in Sofal. The 2 Czechs combining. What can Sofal do? Up against Mikalenko. Takes it towards the byline, the Ukrainian. He has been a good signing for them, hasn't he, from Dynamo Kiev?
He's done well today. He got a bit of stick when he first arrived, but he's actually looking the part now.
It's going to be a throw-in for Sofal to take. 3-4 yards away from the corner flag, so an attacking throw for West Ham into the box towards Souček. Might come out to Bowen, who tries the shot, bounces off of Iwobi, another throw in exactly the same position for West Ham. If you look back through the recent history of this fixture, there's not been more than a goal in the last 5 Premier League meetings. 3 1-0s, a 2-1 and a 1-all. So you probably never really thought that this was going to be anything other than a tight game in terms of scoreline. But it's not been tight in terms of its openness. It's just that the quality in the final third's been pretty poor at times. Here's Corney on the left, rolls it under his studs into Ben Rama, back to Rice. There's plenty of space for Cresswell. Again takes his time over it, and the cross hits the defender Gordon and bounces behind. 10th corner of the game for West Ham. Still, I don't think they've produced a shot on goal from one of them.
No, they've been pretty. I'm surprised for a David Moyes team. I am surprised. I thought they'd be a lot more inventive. They'll probably score now.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Well, you said that about Iwobi. Couldn't pass forward in the first half. He's provided the assist. Maybe we'll talk about West Ham's set pieces and things will change. Here's Cresswell with the delivery. In it goes towards the near post. Oh my word, how did it not go in? It was flicked on, I think. Was it Rice or Souček? Rice seems to be apologising. Let's see what happened again. It was the delivery by Cresswell. Souček through. Well, I don't know why Rice is apologising. Is it that he didn't follow it up, maybe?
Well, somebody should certainly be on the back post.
Yeah. It is another corner, and it's Bowen with the in-swinger towards the near post. Flicked on! Won't come to Antonio, and it's away by Iwobi. Picked up by Sofal. He'll just bang that one back into the box. Header away by Patterson. Comes out to his opposite number, Cresswell. Now here's Cornet. He's got a runner down the left-hand side in Ben Rama. Can he keep it in? No. He couldn't take it in his stride, and it's a goal kick.
Bad ball from Cornet. Very, very bad ball. It's a good period of pressure, though, for West Ham,
who are about to make their third change of the day, and it's interesting to see. You've got Angelo Ogbonna trying to translate for Kevin Nolan to the substitute. Now, Kevin Nolan, of course, is a man from this neck of the woods, a Scouser, and I imagine that it doesn't matter how much English Gianluca Scamacca speaks, he may never understand what Kevin Nolan has to say. So Angelo Ogbonna, who's been on these shores for a while, can translate into Italian for him, or maybe even just into English. It doesn't matter. But I believe he's going to come on for Antonio Scamacca. There's a foul challenge by Mopé there on Cornet, and that's a free kick for West Ham. And I think they're going to make that change now. They are. Well, they could do with the opening goal for their new striker, just as Everton have got one from theirs today. And this is a man of real pedigree who was wanted across Europe. And, well, effectively, he is the reason that West Ham didn't sign a striker last January. Because David Moyes said, no, we want the right one, we will wait. And he did. And they had the cash to sign Scamacca. Little layoff by Ben Rama to Bowen. That's nice interplay already with Scamacca laying off too. Bowen now to Rice. Back it goes. And here comes the 70th minute of the game. And the applause in memory of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, who died, 9 days ago now, and the national anthem being sung out. And as mentioned, perhaps where the silence was not immaculately received, those who may disagree with this are being drowned out. In the meantime, a corner to West Ham, and it's bouncing around the Everton box, away again though by Iwobi, headed forward again by Sofal. Out the way of it goes Mikolenko to allow Everton to clear. Sofal gets it back again. Oh, lovely feet by Bowen. Good trickery. And then picked up again by Ben Rama. Bowen. Ben Rama, what's the cross like? I don't think he was quite expecting it, and the left-footed cross is cleared, and here come Everton. Gray. He's got Gordon up the line if he wishes. Just holds it up. That was a bit quicker, and they might have been able to break on a West Ham team who'd sent bodies forward for the corner.
Yeah, it's far too many touches. Drives me mad.
Everton come right with Patterson. Cody. Mopay. Cody tries the first time ball to Iwobi. At least he's trying them. It didn't come off. That was a proper centre-half's pass. Completely miscontrolled and easy for West Ham to clear, but Skamaka won't win that one against Tarkowski, and that'll be an interesting battle. If Skamaka can try and get himself on Cody, that's a considerably different battle in the air than one with Tarkowski, who'd be up for it.
Yeah, they've had a pretty easy ride actually, the Everton centre-half so far.
At TalkSport Live, we've had plenty of messages coming in from you. Daniel Morris, he says, I'm a neutral for these two teams, but I'm still enjoying it in southern Delaware, taking a picture of his swimming pool and the sea. It's alright for some.
Nice.
More dogs coming in from Tyler as Everton go long, and Rice deals with it. Cresswell's ball up to Skamaka, lays it off. Has Cornet got the pace? He just about got beaten to that one by Onana, who slides it out of play. Enjoying the commentary from Atlanta, while Linda the Chihuahua takes in the Georgia Sun. She says she predicts a late Hammers win. Well, they've got a big turnaround to come if that's going to happen. Souček to Sofal, heads it into the box away by Tarkowski. He perhaps needed to listen to Begovic, because he had plenty of time to pick that ball up, in theory, the Bosnian there. And then Tyler Owett, he actually came in earlier, that one, who said that it was the curse of the Chihuahua, when Everton then took the lead. At TalkSport Live if you want to get involved. And it's Everton still 1-0 up with 17 minutes plus stoppage time left for play. We said right at the start one goal might be enough, and here we are with West Ham struggling to find a way through Everton. 1-0 down, one by Sofal. Souček, which just hits it over his shoulder really. Gay beats Bowen to that one. It's just a proper defensive screen, isn't he, Idrissa Gay?
I think Onana and Gay have really...
He's lost out there though, and here comes Ben Rama, might open up, he's in a post! Inside of the post that bounces out, and Mikalenko was the first to react to clear. Very nearly the inspiration West Ham needed to equalise here, and you heard it clatter off the post. The goalkeeper was left completely stranded. He was convinced, I think, that was a goal, but it's stayed out, and Everton's clean sheet remains intact by the finest of margins.
Well, he convinced me, Begovic, that was going in. It's funny because I was actually watching him as that shot came in, and I thought that's him, because Begovic didn't even... He had the look of a man that was going in, that was going to be the equaliser.
And in response, Everton make a change. Anthony Gordon off, Dwight McNeil on. Another straight swap. Fresh legs.
Yeah, just as I was saying as well, Onana and Gay, really, they're the ones that have sort of really driven Everton today and protected the back four.
Oh, I mean, it got so much bend, didn't it? It was a long way outside the post. And there's big smiles between Gay and Ben Rama, and I think Gay is saying to him, we all thought that was in, but we'll take our bit of luck, and he's going, next time I'll get you. West Ham, believe it or not, had 12 attempts on goal, 3 on target. Everton just 5 attempts and 2 shots on target. I don't know whether you're an expected goals man, Dave, but here we go. I'm going to go for this. I mean, you would say that Everton have been lucky defensively and unlucky offensively this season. If you look at expected goals, they've actually got the highest underperformance in the Premier League of expected goals as they defend once again. So prior to this game, that is, they had scored, as we know, just the 4 goals this season from an expected goals of 7.55, so they're more than 3.5 goals down on what they should have scored. But in terms of defensively, the highest overperformance, conceded just 6 from an expected goals against of 10.29. So, I mean, you would say that if things even themselves out, then Everton will be involved in a lot of games where there are a lot of goals, effectively.
So
they're better, they're luckier defensively and unluckier in terms of going forward, if you like the expected goals statistic.
So does that mean that the expected goals thing is always wrong?
Well, you're never going to be exactly on expected goals, are you? But it's the idea that in theory the average team with the average player gets X, whatever that is. As Gray comes forward, it's gone past one, gone past two. Is that a foul? The shot came in eventually from Iwobi. I wonder whether Gray was tripped just before it. The referee, did he play on?
I think there may have been a toe on this ball. Just the faintest of toes.
It was great work from Gray coming in field. We need to see it again from a different angle. Here we go. He's absolutely spot on. That's why we get Dave Kitson to come and help analyse these games, because Thilo Kehrer got a great toe to prevent Gray getting a shot away, and then took the man as well. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. And then Iwobi's shot was over.
Yeah, and he might be disappointed, Iwobi, actually, because that's not a difficult placement into the corner, and he's missed the goal entirely. And that's what I'm talking about as well. It just doesn't seem natural in front of goal.
No, he's not somebody that's, you don't feel like he's ever going to score Frank Lampard numbers of goals.
No.
However much he's got him helping him sort of learn the tricks of the trade. When you look at his career, you look down the years, got 2 goals in the Premier League last year, 1 the previous year, and then 1 in his first year at Everton, 3 for Arsenal, another 3, another 3, and then a 2 in his first sort of real breakthrough campaign. So he's never been somebody with huge numbers of goals. It's 15 in 189 games and 78 minutes so far for Iwobi. Here's Cresswell for West Ham, deep inside Everton's half. 12 minutes they've got to find their way back into this game. They were very close to the equaliser with Ben Rama's effort off the post. So far. Bowen. Souček takes it on the half turn, gives it to Rice next to him. Left hand side now for Cresswell. He's got the runner in Cornet. 2 blue shirts around him. Cornet tries to give it back to Cresswell. Easy block on this near side by McNeil, and then Patterson very nearly slid in with his legs, his studs up I should say, there on Ben Rama, having after a heavy touch. He's lucky that he didn't make contact. He should have already been booked, we think, but he wasn't. Here's Rice coming forward. He fizzes one into Ben Rama. It runs on, and here's Begovic.
Yeah, he might have been better off just shooting there, Rice, actually, because nobody came out to close him down, and he can shoot.
It's a criticism of him, though, isn't it, that he doesn't get enough goals again?
Yeah.
Perhaps that's something he really could add to his arsenal. As we see Onana, I should say, going down, lying on his back. As you say, not really tested so far today, but I think his race may be run, as Abdoulaye Doucouré is being readied, and Ashley Cole, one of the backroom staff at Everton, is giving Doucouré his instructions. Now, he really was a player.
Yeah, he was.
For me, in my lifetime, the only position we've ever had the best player in the world as an English fan.
Yeah, I remember when England played Portugal, and he absolutely marked Ronaldo out of the game.
Yeah, he was the best left back in the world. I would imagine England's best ever left back. Just phenomenal. What a career. Abdoulaye Doucouré, now a Mali international, being readied after a injury-hit campaign so far. Played in the first 2, then got injured and missed the last 4 as a result. So I'm pretty sure that Onana, well, he's been told that he can carry on, but thumbs up to the near side, but I think he's going to be subbed anyway, and Doucouré will get some precious minutes, unless it's Damari Gray that he comes on for. No, I believe that was the initial plan.
Yeah.
But Onana...
Yeah, and that's a bit of a shame, actually, because he has been fantastic today.
Coming off, 20 years of age, Belgian. And I think there might be a decent future for him. It's heavily linked.
Oh, it is Gray going off.
Yeah. I wonder whether they might have to make a second one for Onana as well, will they? But Gray's been in the wars a fair old bit. But this just solidifies things. I think maybe Iwobi does just move out to the wing, and it's much more of a 4-3-3. So Onana comes limping back on.
Limping back on and asking for the ball immediately.
Yes, he does. Begovic is being encouraged to find him, and he's managed to get the flick on there as well. And Iwobi has gone to the left-hand side, and he's heavily involved, Onana, there a couple of times, and then a third time. Yeah, he's absolutely fine, and then, oh dear, he's really hobbled away. I mean, it must be so tempting as a young player to try and stay on the field, but for your team, it's not necessarily that useful. There's a terrible ball towards Iwobi that so far will easily get to first. We'll just call that rust from Doucouré. And Everton, well, at this moment in time, they look like they're seeing this one out relatively comfortably, and Scamacca has offered nothing for West Ham since coming on.
Yeah, they have a good shape, Everton.
Long ball forward looking for McNeil, headed away by Thilo Kehrer. He's going to find Rice in the midfield, and Doucouré is looking to try and get back at him. Rice with time moves it left for Cornet. Maxwell Cornet left side, attacking third of the field, back to Rice. Can he deliver a good quality ball into the box? Looking for Scamacca, might come for him, you know. Did it come off of an Evertonian last? It just looked like it took a deflection as it dropped towards Scamacca to me. Off of Gay. And that is another corner for West Ham. Well, it should have been.
Yeah.
Clearly, it took a touch off of Gay. No, it's gone as a goal kick. Well, a little stroke of fortune there for Everton. And the West Ham fans are getting annoyed that Begovic is taking his time over this. There was a bit of time wasting in that, no doubt, but 7 minutes left for play. There's still time for West Ham, and they've won it again. And here comes Rice, and he'll slip in Cornet here. Maxwell Cornet! Finally, Begovic is tested, and he stands up to the challenge well, pushing it behind. Corner to West Ham. Cornet, for the second game in a row, thought he might have a chance to get West Ham back in it. It was controversial, it didn't happen at Chelsea. This time he's simply met by a goalkeeper who's made a super save.
Well, I was just about to criticise Declan Rice, because before he's dribbling the ball forward too much instead of just passing it to guys like Cornet who can sprint with it. This time he does give it to him early.
Oh,
goodness me.
Word, the corner has gone into the outside of the side netting from Ben Rama.
Do you know, I don't think I've seen that.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
He's stunned the entire stadium.
David Moyes has got a face of absolute shock, and he's just stuck his hand up in the sky as if to go, what on earth was that?
Do you know, if you did that in an under-10s game, you'd be upset.
Absolutely extraordinary. Cannot believe what I've just seen from a professional footballer. I've suddenly realised I've still got a chance of making it. Incredible. Anyway, it's back with Fabianski for West Ham. He's cleared that ball long. Scamacca's header won't find Ben Rama. He might never play for West Ham again after that. Patterson comes away for Everton, trying to find a gap. It's well dealt with by Cresswell. Bounces to Rice. Here's Souček. Souček a long way behind Zuma. There's plenty of time for Sofal to pick up ahead of Mopé, who might win this one, you know, here. Fortunately for Sofal, Zuma was there to clear. Out to the far side. There's Bowen. Loses out though. Iwobi picks up. Mopé. McNeil available short. Instead he comes back to Gay. Then Mikolenko to Iwobi. Onana. Mikolenko. And this is control now by Everton. This is what they need to pass the time. And then Scamacca comes across, has fouled his man. Free kick to Everton over on the far side, and they will begin to take as much time as possible over these sorts of situations. And it's a free kick that they will use James Tarkowski for, I think. David Moyes has run onto the pitch to say, you take it, they're wasting time. That's a booking, I'm sure. And I can see why he's annoyed. But he's literally run onto the pitch as a ball boy there as David Moyes. Well, he's done an awful lot at Goodison Park. I suspect he's never been a ball boy, but he has just there. His old side beating his new one, or current one I should say, by a goal to nil at the moment. Iwobi has it. Tries to fizz the ball up to Mopé. It deflects off a West Ham body to Doucouré. Mikolenko. Iwobi might open up for a shot. He goes for it and he puts it well wide. It was Lampard-esque in idea, but not necessarily in execution. Still 1-0 Everton.
But I mean, his mind's made up for him, because yet again, no West Ham player goes out to close him down.
Cannot get over that corner. It was about 3 minutes ago, and everyone still seems shocked by it. Here comes Fabianski to clear that ball long from the goal kick. It skipped off of an Everton head, but fortunately for Tarkowski, Cody was there. Back it comes, in behind goes Cornet! Surely! And he took it away from Begovic, rounded the keeper, and he's saying there was a touch there from an Everton man, and somehow, I don't know how, it stayed out of the Everton net. He got goal side of Cody, took it around the keeper, and I think he's only got himself to blame, I have to say. It remains Everton 1, West Ham 0. No, he's got a point, you know.
Yeah.
He's got a point. Was it Patterson that got a touch on it?
It's a fantastic touch from Patterson. It really is, because at first I thought he'd fluffed his lines. I thought he'd miss-hit the ball.
Absolutely.
As he tried to finish it. What it is actually is Patterson's come round from right back and he's taken it right off the toes of Cornet just as he's about to put West Ham level.
It was a brush.
Yeah.
But it was enough. And Cornet saying, surely a player of my quality wouldn't have missed that without some defender happening to be there, and he's got a point.
Yeah, they should have had a corner, but it's a fantastic piece of defending.
Salomon Rondon is coming on for Everton. Neil Mopé will get warm applause for his contribution today. At the moment, a match-winning contribution. He scored the only goal of the game. Feels a long time ago, the 53rd minute. I still think, as I look at it, that Thilo Kehrer should have done more. But he's opened his account, and that one goal might mean 3 points, 3 precious points for Everton. Minute and a half plus stoppage time left for play. They still lead by that 1-0. We're getting dog pictures coming up to us again and again, but more on that in a moment, because here's Dwight McNeil. I think he's just lost control of it over in that corner. He has. Bowen's clearance hits Iwobi, and then in with the challenge comes Souček. Rich Lewis, listening from Cardiff by the Sea, California. Dixie says he's sad there's no Chelsea match again this week. Is that one of the dogs that we had a little bit earlier? I think it might be. And we've got Scott with a slightly terrifying photo in Austin Airport, listening to Talk Sport live, waiting to fly home. He says, you guys make waiting for travel bearable. Many thanks. He's an Irons fan, West Ham fan. Come on, you Irons is his hashtag.
Great shirt.
He's going to be disappointed with himself at the moment. Yeah, he's not going to be happy right now as Bowen, fighting for it, goes to the ground. 3 blue shirts around him. I think Bowen suggesting maybe got a bit of a kick in the shoulder as he was on the ground, but he's picked himself up. He continues in. And Scott's Twitter handle is @Reno_Hammer, so I'm sure that's relating to West Ham. He won't be happy right now, but it's a kind of almost a secretive shot by his coffee cup. As Cornet tries to take it down, won't fall for Skamaka that, and Rondon will chase the long ball forward. Kehrer with plenty of time to get there first, gets it back to Fabianski. We've got 5 minutes of stoppage time. And do stay with us after full time, because we've got a decent time to analyse this and take a look back at what's happened over the course of the weekend as well. Should have 20 minutes or so of that. As Cornet again loses out, and here comes Patterson, and are Everton going to get consecutive clean sheets in the Premier League? It's been a long time since they last did that. First time they'll have back-to-back clean sheets in more than a year. They didn't do it at any point last season. Funnily enough, the last time they did do it, May 2021, involved a game against West Ham. Are they going to do it again? If they do, they'll win all 3 points. Rice in the centre circle for West Ham. Kehrer forward to Cornet. He's got an option down the line. Instead comes back in field for Rice. Can he bypass Doucouré? He can. Cresswell. Cornet. All left-footed. 2 blue shirts around him. Back heels it straight to Doucouré. and Everton will pass it out. Loads of time for Patterson to clear. Instead, Doucouré, and away by Gay into Rondon, round the corner by Dwight McNeil to Doucouré, and they're getting bodies forward, and Doucouré, with two players to his right with nobody on them, tries to go left into a crowd of West Ham bodies, and it bounces to Fabianski. That was pathetic by the former Watford man.
Not comfortable up there, is he?
There were times when you saw him playing for Watford where he would have just torn through everybody and scored there. Yeah. I tell you. Rice, high diagonal, headed away by Mikalenko. Down by Sofal, into Bowen. Bowen right side of the area, tries the... Was it a cross or a shot? Corner. I'm not sure, but it's been tipped behind by Begovic. And that's another corner for West Ham. I bet you Ben Rama doesn't take it. Another change for West Ham. It's Emerson on for Cresswell. Might as well just stick on a slightly more physical presence and get him in the box. It'll be Bowen that takes this corner. There's the delivery. Oh my word, it's a cross goal! Twice! Back in by Rice. Cleared by Everton. As far as Ben Rama, back in it goes. I think Souček knew he was offside, so he's let it run in the hope someone was on beyond him. And it goes on through to the goalkeeper. And that might well just be West Ham's best chance to nick something here. It was skipped off of the head of Tarkowski, back in by Rice, and then Tarkowski back again to clear it away.
Well, I thought Rice should have gone for goal myself.
Yeah.
Because Begovic was in no man's land. The goal was there for Rice, and instead he's elected to go back across goal.
Well, Everton have won the ball high up, and it might just be that was the last chance for West Ham to get back in, as McNeil tries to take on Sofal. He's got goal side of him here briefly. The Czech does well to get back and win it, and then he clears that one away, and then McNeil sliding in to try and stop the cross, I think has slid in and caught Sofal, and will be giving away the free kick. And Sofal, I think, is saying to the referee, either why don't you book him, or maybe just can't we just see where that was going to go from that clearance, because it did find a body in claret and blue. But McNeil is booked. Confirmation of the yellow card there. And then what's happened here off the ball? Is it Scamacca? And there's a bit of pushing and shoving going on now. And the referee, well, I think it's all handbags, isn't it?
Well, it's perfect for Everton. Yeah. It's exactly what they want.
And Tarkowski is desperate to face off with Scamacca, and Declan Rice is saying to him, what are you doing?
He clearly feels that whatever Scamacca did was deliberate.
And he's been given a yellow card, Scamacca, so the referee obviously saw it too. And maybe it was on Idrissa Gueye, he's the man that's down. Let's see. Yeah, he's come in late, and he's caught him on the side, and it was aggressive, and I think he knew that he had no chance of winning the ball. It was just a barge, really, wasn't it? It was nothing terrible. Yellow card, fair enough, but facially, Scamacca's got the look of Felipe Coutinho about him, do you think?
Yeah.
Bit of a look-alike.
Yeah.
Certainly a bigger physical specimen and tattooed up to his neck. But I think those two were separated at birth. Free kick to Everton. Officially, the 5 minutes is up. It's just now how much Michael Oliver wants to add on. Zuma's missed his headed clearance. Sofal will whack it away. Underneath it, Idrissa Gueye. Scamacca too, beaten in the air by Doucouré. It's going to fall for those in blue, and I think Everton are getting their first win of the season here, and it's going to be welcome before the international break. And here's Rondon, he's holding it up well, great centre forward play. Iwobi gets it back from Doucouré, right side of the box, and I'll just take it to the corner flag. He might as well. Couple of step overs, might make the error here and give it away. Has he? Yes, he has. Throw into West Ham. Need to take it as quick as they can. Emerson gets it back. Surely the final whistle should go here. And it has.